are you?
Good. I'm Jason, the real estate appraiser.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I've never done this, so I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do. Do you want to come on in and
Sure.
we can talk about it?
Okay.
Great. So how long is this going to take?
The typical appraisal will take anywhere from a half an hour to an hour based on the size of the house and the complexity of the appraisal.
I have kind of a mess. I have a young child. The house is a mess. Is that going to affect my appraisal?
Personal property does not negatively affect an appraisal. However, I will be taking pictures of the property, and it would help if it were straightened up, but it does not negatively affect the value of your home.
Great, great. So where do we begin?
Well, basically where the appraisal begins is I start outside and we measure the house. So make sure that I have complete access to the property. Do you have any dogs?
No.
No dogs on site. So I'm going to start there, measure outside, take photos, and then work my way back inside. Okay. So we finish up the inspection of the outside of the property, and now we're going to continue going inside. Coming back in. Okay, I'm coming back in.
You all finished out there?
Yeah, thank you.
Great. So what's next?
Well, what's next is after we inspect the outside of the residence, I'm going to do the same inspection inside, where I'm going to be taking pictures and notes on any improvements or amenities that you have.
Great, great. Come on in. Now, do you actually work for the bank or do you work for the lender?
Well, most appraisers are independent contractors or sole proprietors. However, some appraisers do work directly for the banks. It depends.
Great.
It depends, but most own their own company or independent contractors.
Now, as you can see, I've done some work to the house. What would actually help to increase the value of my home?
That's a great question, one that comes up all the time. And what you want to do is tell the appraiser any and everything that you've done to your property within any specific amount of time, any improvement in any amenity, and then the appraiser will go back and research and put it all together in a report.
Great. And how can I get a copy of the appraiser? I mean, is it something that I would need for my records?
Sure, you can get a copy of the appraisal. You're going to get that directly from the bank or the lender that was contracted by the appraiser to do the property. You get that directly from them.
Great. So now you just need to measure?
Well, the measurements already took place outside, so I don't need to remeasure inside the property. The first part of the process is to measure the outside. Then after that, come inside and take pictures and notes on the improvements and amenities within the property, but no need to remeasure inside the house.
Okay. Well, if you want to go ahead and take some photos, I'll be over here if you need me.
Great. Okay, Ashley, looks like I'm all done here.
Great. So what is this going to cost?
The typical appraisal costs anywhere between $300 to $400 for a standard residential property appraisal report. That consists of the physical inspection that you, the borrower, is witnessing. However, this is the easiest part of the whole process. Prior to the inspection, we gather all the data on your property and the surrounding area. Obviously, we're here to do the physical inspection. Then we'll take another two and a half hours to drive around the premises after the inspection and shoot other similar comparable properties to yours. After that, it'll take us probably another 2 hours or so to put together the report and submit it to the bank.
How long is the process before the whole report is done from the bank and everything's approved or the analysis is done? When would we actually get a full report done?
The typical turnaround time for the appraiser to submit the report to the bank is within 2 business days.
So, what do you think my house is worth?
That is a very common question, and unfortunately, I'm legally binded and cannot discuss value with the homeowner at the time of the inspection.
So where would I find out? Would I go back to my lender?
Yes, lender or the banking institution you are doing your transaction through is going to be the person to go back to.
Great.
The following are some additional questions that we did not get to address in the demonstration that come up frequently within the appraisal.
Do I have to be present as the homeowner during the inspection?
No, the homeowner does not need to be present. Just anyone over the age of 18 that can give the appraiser full access to the property is all an appraiser would need.
So what determines the value of my property?
That's a great question that comes up frequently in the appraisal process, and there's a number of factors that determine property value. First and foremost, the properties selling around you and the values for which they're selling for are one of the biggest factors. However, improvements that you've done to your property, amenities that you have, are also great factors within determining value.
Now, what documentation do I need to have when you arrive at my house?
If you've done any additions to the property that are now included within the overall square footage of the property, or pools, or any amenity that's been added, have documentation for the appraiser so he can utilize that in the appraisal analysis.
If my property is still under construction or in process of a remodel, what is the process?
Well, an appraiser has to address any health or safety issues. So if an appraisal is done, and once the appraiser arrives at the property, there is exposed beams, electrical wires, any health or safety issue, those have to be addressed, and the appraisal process will not be completed until the said improvements are completed as well. Contact me directly. Thank you so much.